Hi, this is Katie Weeks, your independent, close to my heart maker.
Hello and welcome to the Be Amazing Virtual Crop. I am going to work on a sketchy challenge that takes you from a scrapbook sketch, and you're going to be able to create the layout, and then it will take you over to do a card from that same scrapbook layout sketch. So tonight I am doing an eclipse layout because I have been so excited about taking pictures during the eclipse, and then I even snagged a few pictures off the internet of better shots of the actual eclipse than what I had, and I had pictures of some of my family members and myself, so I thought, why not do a fun little eclipse layout? And for my local girls, if you are watching, I want you to know that I do have 8 of these kits available. So I'll be announcing things over on my Facebook page about that. So make sure you check out what I have to share with you.
Okay, so this challenge is actually the Sketchy Inspiration Challenge, and I am using Make It From the Heart Volume 3, Pattern 1, and I'm going to be doing this particular layout. And if you are getting my kit for one of my local girls, it's going to include 2 pieces of the Pebble cardstock, and I am using the light side of that cardstock. Lemonade cardstock, and that one I'm going to use the light side as well. Charcoal, and I think I want to use the dark side of the charcoal, and then 1 sheet of this Aurora paper that has the night sky, and then I have some print thin cut pieces that I have already prepared, and 1 of our clear sparkles that I'm going to use. And so I don't lose it, let's just go ahead and put that right now in front on this main title right here in the middle. That's where I'm going to put it. I will lose it if I wait. So let's just go ahead and get that over with. So the first thing I'm going to do is set all these print and cuts aside so I don't lose them. I do have my Cricut file if anybody wants that with the print and cut. These were not images really that I had. The Starburst, those might have been free, and the other ones I edited a little bit, but not too much. It was nothing, no sort of rocket science, that's for sure. I just did those and I made the colors match the sapphire, charcoal, lemonade, and I think I used another gray. I did not use the pebble, and I used the black. So I made it so it printed to match my cardstock. So I'm going to start by cutting this Aurora paper 2 sheets down to 4 inches. 12 by 4 for the first 2. And then I'm going to go off script a little bit and not follow exactly what was on the directions, just because I want to make it a little bit easier on myself. I think I'm going to take my charcoal and I'm going to cut 2 of them at 5 by 12. And then this one, I'm going to have a couple of things. So first I'm going to cut this at 8 inches. And I'm using the light side of the lemonade, the dark side of the charcoal, the light side of the lemonade. And I want 2 of these at 3/4 of an inch. And then I'm going to cut this down to 6 inches and cut 2 of them at 3/4 of an inch. You could cut long strips if you wanted. this is going to be the sun peeking around things. And so this will be a real quick layout to put down to start with. So, and you can cut more layers if you would like from things, but this is how I'm going to get it started. So I'm going to center these up on these strips and put them down with my mono air adhesive.
With Close to My Heart closing and many of us makers going over to be demonstrators with Stampin' Up!, I will be using some of my stash from Close to My Heart and getting some new things.
So this is going to go about 3.5 inches up. I want to keep that 4-inch even on this in the middle 4 inches because of how the pictures will actually lay out on my page.
So if you're a Stampin' Up! Person, tell me, what should I be getting from Stampin' Up! That you absolutely love? Like, what are your favorite tools? What are your favorite types of stamps? Like, they have the cling stamps and the polymer stamps, I think.
I'm going to print some pictures, so I'm trying to decide how I want to do it. I really liked the layout that had a picture up here and one down here. So I think I'm going to do that with 2 of my main photos and put my big main title here. And then I still have all these other things. So I am right here, northwest corner of Ohio. And so trying to decide. I kind of feel like these glasses are looking in, maybe even down. I think that's how I'm going to do it. And then I'm going to have some pictures here as well. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And then I will embellish at the end with all of my extra little ephemera. And now I need to decide if I'm going to pop any of these up. I think these I will put down. Have you used print and then cut? This is something that I've not really used it. I've just always done all of the layers before. And I thought, let's try something new this time. It would be perfect for this layout and to mass produce a layout for my customers. Definitely makes it worth it, and it'll make it worth it for them. Oh, you know what I want to do to these glasses? I know what I want. I'm trying to decide where I want this exactly. I think I'm going to move this over a little bit so that I have different areas to cluster. I think I'm going to come in with a Spectrum Noir metallic marker. I'm using Pewter. It's the closest I have to black. And I want to color in the lenses on these glasses to give them a metallic looking finish.
I heard a great tip this morning on a video by Holly Vasilinak, I hope I said your name right, and she said if your hand shakes when you are coloring, hold your breath. And I tried it when I was doing these glasses and it works.
I also have out my Lemonade Shimmer Brush. I'm going to be using that on some of those. I think I'm just going to do a little dot of where we were. That's where we're located. You could use a bitty sparkle. That would be really cute as well if you were someplace and had a great view. I actually have some journaling to do with this one that I'll probably do off camera about just why it was such a special moment for us.
So I'm going to pop this title up with 3D foam tape and put it in the center of that left page, and then I'm going to add some pictures above and below it. And I had added the pictures here, and I realized I forgot to add that lemonade strip at the top and bottom around those charcoal strips. So I ended up getting my Cricut spatula to lift everything up. And since I had just remembered right after I put it together, it was really easy to get the adhesive to come up. That's one of the things I like about our mono air adhesive. Like if you try to pull things up immediately, you usually can get it up pretty good. And then as it sits, then it's going to really hold very well. But if you go back really quick after a mistake, you'll be okay. You'll be able to get it up and it's not a problem. So I just added all the little things, and that Cricut spatula is like a wonderful tool to have in the craft room. So I'm adding all of the little embellishments back around, and here's a look at that layout, and I'm going to move into the card. And for the card, I stuck that Aurora galaxy print on top of a piece of lemonade, and I put it through an embossing folder that we have that has stars, and I just ran that through my die cutting and embossing machine. That way I gave that background a little bit of texture before I got started. And yes, this one is matted and my layout isn't, but I just wanted a little something extra around the outside. But then, just like the layout, I came across these pieces and I wanted to add strips across the middle. I wanted one with a title on it or a main sentiment, and then I wanted the other one to just have be a border around the other one. So I'm going to use that charcoal as a little bit of a border, and I'll trim down the lemonade just a little bit so I can layer those together, and you'll see a little bit of charcoal on each side of that lemonade. And I made sure that this fit on my card. I had trimmed that lemonade a tad bit bigger because I know when I put it through my embossing machine, it would shrink just a little. So I didn't cut it to a true A2 size for the card front. I cut it a little bit bigger, and I just needed to trim that up. The next thing I'm going to add is on this charcoal piece, I'm going to wrap around some of that silver thread. I am really trying to stash bust and go through some of my old embellishments, and I love this twine. I'm actually surprised that I still have some in my stash. And so I put that in the back, and it really helps that charcoal stand out just a little bit on the front once I put that lemonade over top of it. So next I'm going to take the rest of those little starbursts that I had left over from my layout, and I'm going to see how I want those on the front of my card and add those to the front of the card. And I even added a few to the inside of my card as well. And those made a nice little embellishment to just kind of carry through from the outside to the inside of the card. And then I needed to come up with a good sentiment that goes with this whole outer space type theme. And so I found the Aurora Cardmaking Stamp and Thin Cut set, and I die cut the earth in the charcoal and also in, I want to say, a pine, but I don't think that's quite right. I did it in one of my greens. And then I stamped on the front of that lemonade, there was a banner and a sentiment. So the banner I stamped in sapphire ink, and then the sentiment, I believe I brought in some pine ink to stamp the sentiment. And I thought I was going to make my sentiment go off to the right hand side, and then I had not tested where that sentiment would be with the banner, so I had to actually flip it around, so it ended up being on the left. And I love this sentiment. It says, "You mean the world to me." And then I have that little globe to put on the front. And I pop the globe up with a little bit of my 3D foam tape. And I pretty much think that finishes up the card. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you've enjoyed the Sketchy Inspiration Challenge. So you'll take the scrapbook sketch and make a layout. It can be 1 or 2 pages, and then use the same basic concept to make a card with the same idea. And here's my final looks at my card, and then again at my layout. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and have a great day. Please give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this video, and make sure you subscribe to my channel and you hit that bell to turn on all the notifications so you'll be notified every time I upload a crafty video. Please leave me a sweet comment below and share this video with your crafty friends as well. It's free, why not share it? Have a great day.